good morning. It's Saturday, July 4th. Happy 4th of July. Please be safe out there and don't hold on to fireworks in your hands and end up in the ER. This is your energy for the week starting, what's supposed to be starting tomorrow, Sunday the 5th, to go through next Saturday the 11th. However, when I was connecting to the energy, I had a really hard time separating today's energy from next week. So something feels like a continuation. I want to tell you some of the things that came up for me real briefly. I want to say that I finally launched my Patreon yesterday. And you can find the link in my bio in my link tree. There is a link in there for you to find me. Since it's brand new, Patreon is always very, very careful to make sure that we're not creeps and we're not doing things that we shouldn't be doing in there. So searching me by metaphysically might be a little bit difficult. So if you follow the link, it should take you there. I'm very excited and I can't wait to bring you guys some extra stuff. So you can join for free, and then there are different tiers with additional information. So connecting into the energy, the first thing that happened besides the fact that I couldn't really separate it very much was I physically kind of felt uncomfortable. To be honest, I felt like I actually had to cough and swallow around a lump in my throat. It felt tight in my chest. It ended up making my stomach clench. It just felt uncomfy. Oh, I can even feel it right now. It just felt uncomfy. And again, something continuing. I have a lot of notes. I'm going to be diving a little more deeply into some of the details in my Patreon for protection for some of the things that feel a little more difficult to kind of put here. So the way that felt, once I was able to finally separate today and get into next week, it was a strange sensation, like I was walking through a door for one day and closing the door and walking back out and walking into the next door and walking back out. There was almost like a separation. It felt disjointed was a word that came with it. And it felt confusing, almost like mixed back and forth stories, almost the way when, and I don't want to say that this is definitely what it is, but the way when there's a big news story because of an immediate event, and the initial news is what comes out, and then you find out even an hour or two later, oops, we had some of that wrong, here's the next correction to that news. And then, as the days go on, you get better and better corrections, but there's mismatching and flip-flopping, and it doesn't sound like a cohesive story. Everything that was initially said was wrong, and then you're not sure what to trust. It had a disjointed, confused sort of feeling in that fashion. And if I had to highlight any day, I feel like the 9th was a little bit highlighted, but I can't say way more highlighted than the rest of it. The 9th just sort of came up as that there may be a slight peak there. I know, by the way, Tuesday's my birthday. Yay! I'll probably come and see you guys that day because I love my birthday. And it's the last one of my 40s, so I know that many times people will tell me and Rianne Dupree that we, had similar-ish sounding feels on things. I feel like I saw that she had said earlier this week there was a day that felt like some of the pressure of the energy was settling. Today I am not feeling that at all. I don't know what she has said, if anything, right now. For me, it feels like the oppressive heat that many of us are experiencing. We're here in Ohio and it got to 108 degrees yesterday, heat index. That is not normal for the beginning of July. We can get hot in July, but that kind of heat is not normal here. And I know a lot of states are experiencing that. For me, it almost feels like if you could take the oppressive feel of that kind of heat and put that oppression feeling on next week energetically. The heat is supposed to die down, at least here in Ohio, through next week, but it has that sort of feel to me. I had to check my notes. One thing that actually came up for me earlier this week that felt like it was related to sometime potentially, I almost wondered if it was starting yesterday. I didn't see something happen yesterday that felt like it. I did tell my husband about it, put it in my notes just in case, but maybe it's sometime today or going into this next week. I was listening to something and it triggered an image in my head that to me looked like an outdoor, I would almost want to say like a balcony, a level of some sort, maybe even a bridge, but I'm not sure. Just that sort of idea of like outdoor air and a level of some sort and a collapse. I do want to say it felt like a fair number of injury could occur. However, full casualty felt very low, if at all, like low single digits, if at all. First of all, I hope none of that happens. I hope that I am wrong. Second of all, if something like that does happen, I hope that I am right in terms of very, very low level severe. So just be careful this weekend. I feel like you could say that any 4th of July, but be very careful. Be careful in crowds. Mars-Uranus conjunction yesterday. It's just unexpected and this blazing hot. I don't know, like that energy can show up a whole bunch of different ways. So the last thing that I want to say is in terms of how what advice can I give? What advice did my guides give in regards to like how do we make it through a difficult energetic week like that? What happened for me this week was the idea of like personal connectedness, creating that space of like support and security. And this could be family that feels very safe and secure for you. This could be friends. This could be coworkers if you've got really great ones. This could be your fur babies. This could be, so anything that feels like interpersonal connectedness that creates that feeling of safety and security for you. Because a lot of times that idea of like your local community, this feels much more small scale interpersonal to me this week. That is going to be something that you can seek out to try to feel less ungrounded with that oppressive sort of energy that I feel like may be coming this week. So let me know how you're doing. I would love to see you over on my Patreon, whether free or one of the tiers with additional information. I do already have scheduled for mid-August, a date where I am putting together a live small group mediumship event. I'm only taking 5 people right now, and that in the upper tiers of my Patreon will actually receive a discount for that. So you'll see the information over in my Patreon. If you so choose to join me over there, I would really love if you came. And yeah, I want to have a really good time with you guys over there. I'm going to do live streams and some of the upper tiers. We're going to do like live energy live streams where, I can work like up on a point of interest, a point of physical discomfort, maybe balance a chakra that really needs some assistance, things like that too. So I'm hoping it's going to be really fun. I'm very excited about doing it because I'm just here to try to help you guys out. We all need a little bit. So I hope you're well. I hope you have a very safe and relatively uneventful 4th of July weekend. And we'll talk soon.